I'm not a lawyer, but Durk's attorneys want his federal M for hire case dismissed, and I read the 21-page motion, so let me tell you the 3 things you need to know about how they say the feds messed up and why this indictment should be dismissed. Quick setup to make sure we're all on the same page. The feds say that Durk, whose real name is Dirk Banks, paid people to cause the death of Quando Rondo, but in the process of executing that plan, those people ended up causing the death of Rondo's cousin, SR. And now 5 people plus Dirk are charged for the crime. But here's where Dirk's team says the issues start. The original indictment for this case only charged the 5 men for this crime. Dirk wasn't charged, but the indictment did include a reference to a person that they called co-conspirator number 1. And then a few weeks after that first indictment, the superseding indictment dropped, and in that indictment, Dirk was named as co-conspirator number 1, and he was charged as the person who ordered the hit, paid the money, and then rapped about it all in a song. And that song was Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, which is technically a Babyface Ray song that Dirk was just featured on. And the line specifically that the feds call out says, quote, "Look on the news and see your son screaming, no, no," which according to the feds is a reference to the news clipping of when Rondo saw his cousin not alive anymore. Now that leads us to thing to know number 1, which is that Dirk's team says that there are only 2 major differences between the original indictment and the superseding indictment. The first thing is that Dirk was revealed to be co-conspirator number 1, and the second thing was the addition of these lyrics. Specifically, the superseding indictment said this about the lyrics, quote, "Following the attempted death of Rondo and the death of his cousin SR, Dirk sought to commercialize the death by rapping about it with music that explicitly references audio from a news clip taken shortly after the death where Rondo screamed no, no after seeing his cousin's body." So according to Dirk's defense team, these lyrics were clearly key in getting Dirk indicted because they weren't included in the first indictment where Dirk wasn't charged, but they were included in the second indictment where Dirk was charged, which would mean that the prosecutors presented these lyrics to the grand jury with the other evidence that they already had, and that resulted in Dirk being charged for this crime. Which gets us to thing number 2 that you should know, which is that Dirk's team says Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy was recorded 7 months before this death actually happened. And the specific version of the song that had audio from the news clipping actually overlaid onto the song is a fan edit, not the original song that Dirk recorded and released. Basically, they're saying that the key evidence used to charge Dirk were lyrics written and recorded 7 months before the incident even happened, and then an internet mashup that a fan edited and posted. And that's what gets us to the last thing you need to know, and that is, according to Dirk's team, given that the government misrepresented what the defense say was key evidence used to indict Dirk, the integrity or foundation of the indictment is undermined and it should be dismissed. Specifically, they argue that if the government knew that what they were presenting to the grand jury was false, they had a duty to correct it. And if they didn't know that what they were presenting was false, then that would mean they never